Still being placed around Pogba's future at Old Trafford. 28 is now. Yet to sign a new contract. It's believed that United have put a contract. Bang, there you go. It's on the table. There's a pen. Get on with it. But as yet, he is yet to sign anything. Now, Paul's contract will come to an end in the summer, Trevor, and will be able to leave Manchester on a free. What do you reckon?
Well, for the second time, I think when you make an investment like Paul Pogba and buying for £90 million, and then you let his contract run down and he leaves for free, I think it's poor business, poor football business from Manchester United. But I think all the cards are with Paul now. I think you'd be stupid to think that he's not going to do exactly what Paul Pogba wants to do. And if that's to leave, I'm sure he'll leave and he'll be well rewarded at the club that he goes to. He might want to go to Paris, back to France. He might want to go back to Italy, but he'll do exactly what he wants to do because he's in charge of this situation. I think he started the season well. Obviously, in the summer, it was disappointing for France to go out. But again, still, you've seen some decent performances from him for Le Bleu. And he has started the season well, but it'll be disappointing for Manchester United fans to let him leave for free. What
do you feel about him then? Ray and I have had a say. What do you feel, Trev?
He's a top player.
Is it lack of consistency? Is he a frustrating player because we know how good he can be?
But I've said this before. Kevin De Bruyne, let's just look at his Liverpool performance. And I've seen a few performances from Kevin De Bruyne where he's not played well for Manchester City. He doesn't get the same rhetoric. He doesn't get the same critique that Paul Pogba gets, because maybe he's a more humble lad and the way he goes about his game, and when he is playing well, he's unbelievable. With Paul, because he's such an extravagant, lively personality, I think when he does play poorly, or not poorly, but when them 40-yard, 50-yard balls are not coming off and he doesn't affect the game like we know he can, which is normal for a creative player, by the way. You know, all creative players give the ball away a lot. When it's not quite happening for him, it seems like the critique and the amount of criticism that he receives is much worse than other players. I'll stand by. He's a top player. I think Manchester United's midfield need a more creative holding midfielder out of the two, because I feel the two very much alike. Fred, McTominay, Matip, very similar players. But if you get another player in there who can play a little bit more, maybe a Declan Rice, I think Paul Pogba brings a lot more to Manchester United. But they've not made that signing. They've gone for Ronaldo, which I don't think that was necessary. They've gone for Sancho again with Greenwood. I don't think was necessary. They've gone for positions where I feel they were quite strong in anyway.
Ray, it's a difficult
interesting
one.
To see.
Would I be wrong saying that Cristiano back at Old Trafford's made a bigger impact now? Everyone's talking about Cristiano rather than Pogba.
Well, that could be the issue to say, well, I want to sign for Manchester United again. That he knows Ronaldo's there, and going forward, I think he's got a decent relationship with the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It looks like he can get the best out of him. So I still think there's every chance that he stays at Manchester United.
I don't know who Ole doesn't get on with, to be honest.
You know what? You know when you hear Ole talking about Paul Pogba, you know, because obviously he has to answer questions about Paul a lot.
He's a big star.
Lad. Great lad, trains well, very professional. They're the things that I find important. When I listen to them little interviews and them sound bites, when you hear a manager saying them things about him, everything else is just noise. You know, whether he performs well or not, that's creative players. Sometimes they might play well, but because of the nature of their job, they take a lot of risks. And when them risks don't pull off, then he's going to struggle.
I think Alan's hit the nail on the head. Consistency. When you're at the top side, you've got to turn up every game. You've got to do it on a regular basis. Who does
that though, Ray? They're human. They have off days.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just that he gets criticised a lot more when he has his off days. For me, I'd rather have a 7 or 8 out of 10 every week than some guys and get 9 out of 10 and 4 the next week, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
So
I hear that.
I think that's what he's got to probably try and improve. And if things ain't going well for you in a game, because you know when you're playing poorly, you've just got to do something else. You've got to do something else for the team. And that's what he's probably got to improve on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but we've seen him do it for France, haven't we? We've seen him when he's not playing brilliantly on the ball or in possession.
He's got Kante next to him, though.
We've seen, exactly.
that does help.
Good shout.
I remember Trev talking to our guy for L'Equipe over in Paris, and the French L'Equipe.
I think there's a little French accent there.
L'Equipe. Well, you know, you have to. My French is coming on. And he said, I'm trying to think his name now. He's a lovely guy. And he said,
Julien.
No, it's not Julien. He said the French, their jury is in and out
David?
with Paul.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he going to
Well,
disrupt the
knee-jerk.
dressing room?
I
Is
think
he
it's
going to, he's just got that aura about him.
Yeah, but you say disrupt the changing room. Listen to what managers are saying about him. Ollie's saying he's great in the changing room. He sets standards. He's a fantastic professional. He works his socks off in training. That's what you want from players like that. Because we've seen it many times where you've got a player who's talented and they're not putting a shift in training, and they can start becoming a problem in the changing room and being bad for the dressing room. I don't think Paul's that. The manager's saying he's not that. The players seem to get along with him. He seems a popular person when you see the odd videos that put out with different players. They seem to have a great rapport with Paul Pogba. A lot of it is noise, and I think a lot of it is the media, and there's slightly an agenda against him.
So you would give him a new contract and an improved contract?
Absolutely. I mean, within reason. You don't want to break all records, but I think he's getting to that stage where he holds so many cards. And with the agent that he has, Riola, they're going to have to offer him an unbelievable contract to keep him at the football club.
Just a quickie on United. Maguire, Varane out. Do we expect Vardy to have a good afternoon?
Happy days, isn't it, for Leicester? They'll be going into that game at home, King Power Stadium.
A bit, aren't they?
They are, but this might be what they need. A little bit of luck with the team that they're facing. A few key injuries that they've got. And it could be the time to play Manchester United. So I'm sure Brendan Rodgers is going to make sure his players are up for this game, go into the game with a lot of intensity, a lot of creativity, and go and put Manchester United to the sword. Because any team, and Ray will tell you this from when we played, any team playing against Manchester United, you want to do well against them because they set the standards for so long in the Premier League since it started in '92.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.